Good evening and welcome. We're running a little late. You like the first three words out of my mouth. We're running a little late. Yeah. Anyways, just running a little bit behind tonight. I've been having to deal with some family issues due to a death in the family. But on a more positive note, tonight we're going to be going over some 308 Winchester. I will be briefly interrupted by my wife, who has got me retrieving groceries out of the back of her car. And basically, I'm going to let AR take the show from right now, and then I'll be back in a few minutes as soon as I get her here. There she is right there. So go ahead, AR. Take over, brother.
Okay, man. Don't work too hard. Hey, guys. Appreciate you, Chris, being on the show. Eagle, good to see you, Eagle. It's been a while.
Yeah, how are you guys?
Pretty good, man. Good to see you all in the side chat. Thanks for dropping back in. I told the guys, I says, well, didn't I just leave this bench a few hours ago? But, yeah, thanks for dropping in. Got Eagle Run over here, Chris, Guns and Barbecues in here, Tactical Fud, Cranky Cletus. What's up, guys? Lead Bullet Junkie. So take it away there, Chris. I'm gonna make it short and sweet.
Well, about pretty much back in the side chat that was on the earlier chat, so they know what I've been up to. So did a little 9mm reloading this morning and some filming down in the reload room, and we did the coffee chat, and now I'm back.
Yeah, it's familiar. I was just sitting in this old uncomfortable stool, and I got a office chair, but it puts me down in a hole because my bench is 39, tall, and my chairs only go so high, so I typically don't use it. But yeah, we do. Barnaby here, Uncle John. What's up, Uncle John? James Pollard. What you up to, Eagle?
Well, I was just gonna say, is Chris, are those were those live streams all on your channel? Because I don't think I got notifications for those.
No, we were on AR's channel from 1 to 3:30, I guess.
I guess I didn't see those either.
1 to 3, yeah, something like that. Yeah, it went a lot longer than I wanted it to originally, but
well, we're iced in, snowed in here in Texas. We
wow.
I don't know the official numbers. 2 inches of snow and ice. Mostly came Wednesday night, Thursday morning, but then it all refroze overnight, and here we are Friday morning, and everything's still all shut down. They've actually canceled everything even through tomorrow. It's really funny in Texas, they'll cancel stuff before even one snowflake hits the ground. I mean, Wednesday, everything was canceled on Wednesday. Pretty funny. But I've got a couple knives that need sharpened, and then I'm hoping to learn about 308 here. I don't reload 308, so I'm interested in learning that. I got to get better at these rifle cartridges. I just don't. I've gotten comfortable with 9mm, but I'm just I feel like I'm behind on the neck sizing and all that stuff. I'm not comfortable, I would say.
All right. 308, you'll like it. It's a good round to load for. A lot of powders.
Need to buy a 308, I guess, don't I?
Mm-hmm. I sold mine. I don't have one either. Even though I got the dies and everything here, micro cedars, you name it. I got to buy me another one though.
That'd be great if you sold a. I'm sure someone's done that before. You sell a rifle and it comes with a set of dies.
I didn't let that guy. I let my gun go, but I ain't letting my dies go.
Yeah.
Reloader in me.
They must have got us all cleared out up here because they dropped us back to level 1 on the snow emergency. So I haven't been outside of the house or out of my driveway anyway. So I don't know what it's doing out there. Don't really care either.
Where are you at? Where are you, Chris?
Right in the middle of Ohio.
Oh, okay.
I'm just glad to be in where it's warm.
Heck yeah. I turned the heater on in the garage about 30 minutes ago to get ready. It's like 19 degrees outside.
There's 2 of you out of work today, huh?
Yeah, they canceled everything. So all of the events that I run at all the facilities, when they closed, I text my staff and say we're off today.
I want to say hi to Sam of Anarchy. He said hi to me. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you all. Timothy Burkett's with us, Tactical Fudd, Uncle John, Hasbro. Got some new ones or some ones I don't see in here at times. What was somebody said something earlier. Uncle John said I still have AR's coffee chat in the hole. Yeah, it went a little longer. I typically want to keep it an hour, but as long as everybody kept talking, I just kept letting it run. So
Yeah, everybody kept asking questions and stuff. It was kind of hard to go away from that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I take it he's just gonna do like the brass prep tonight for the 308 on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. Lately, I don't know if he'll start that and stop and start talking, or he'll put powder in her yet. I don't know that yet. Sometimes he'll take it, almost all the way.
I haven't reloaded 308 forever. I built up quite the stockpile of it, and then I just don't shoot it that much.
I never had one in my life till years ago. And I heard about it when I was young, 308, but I was more alt 6, 270, 3030.
That's a good point. When I started shooting, I jumped right into AR stuff, and I always wanted a 308, but it kind of missed me. I wasn't shooting anything that needed a 308, and I had a 30-06 that I was shooting deer with, and then about 10 years went by and I didn't shoot a deer. And so that 30-06 was just my deer rifle, I guess. And then now that I've started shooting the last 4 or 5 years, I started shooting again like more consistently. And I'm like, well, should I get a 308? Should I get a 308? And then I fell into 6.5 Creedmoor, and I feel like I just kind of missed the 308 thing. Now I'm almost like, well, I should just get one just because it's like a good part of a collection to have some 308. But I'd have to get the gun and the rounds and the dies and everything at this point. So I think I'm just going to set out on 308. And I'm really super jazzed about this 8.6 Blackout. So I'm thinking I might go that direction. So I don't know. Have you guys heard about that?
Oh yeah, that's on my that's definitely on my list.
Well, I've done a couple of videos on the topic, and I don't know everything about it, but I basically anything on YouTube that has an 8.6 in the tag, I've watched the video on it. I'm just like trying to take in as much information as I can, and allegedly it's been out for a couple years, but I think it's finally going to be here soon. Faxon is doing barrels, which I'm a fan of theirs, and Hornady Custom is getting me a set of dies. So working on that, and I guess I need to start ordering in some 338 pills.
Hey Eagle, before I share your channel on the side chat, I want to make sure I got the right channel because I was not subscribed to your channel.
Well, I have two channels. My main channel is Eagle Run 23, but about 8-10 months ago I started reloading, and so that's when I met Echo, and my reloading channel is Eagle Reloads, which
I just subscribed to that one.
Okay.
And is your last video you did the best deal on a Glock slide?
I think so, yes. I'm that channel doesn't have a ton of content on it, but it's been growing pretty quick. I think I've got 300 or 400 subscribers in just a couple months here.
Yeah, you're at 311 on that channel. So yeah, I'll share both of them out in the side chat.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Eagle Eye says it's not cash friendly, limited barrel, crappy twist rate.
Oh, he's talking about 8.6. Yeah, it's got a 1 in 3 twist, which is pretty wild. And a couple things that I learned about that is if you don't have a bonded bullet, or if you don't I think like the hollow, the open tips, or even some of the matches, I think they come apart in the barrel when they come out, which hopefully they'll get that worked out. But
fast twist rate for sure. Echo is getting groceries for his wife.
I just got them. Yeah, I just got them. I got the groceries. I had to organize the groceries.
Did she say, you streaming again?
No, I didn't even have that conversation. Don't want to go there. Okay. Now, this is what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen. I am firing. My camera's off here. find my little cursor there. All right. So, what we did last week, a quick run through for everybody that is in the side chat. What we did was we took 47 pieces of Starline once fired brass, and we threw it in a vibratory tumbler. I tumbled it probably 3 or 4 hours, and with the what is it, walnut or almond? What is that with the walnut? The reddish looking stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the walnut shell.
Ground walnut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what I use.
And that is, and just so you guys know, the ground walnut is for cleaning. It cleans better than the corn. I guess it's the corn. It polishes better. Mm-hmm. So it just so you know, if you're using the compounds, one's for cleaning, one does a little better polishing. So I'm just worried about cleaning. So I used the walnut, and usually I use wet tumbling. That's why I'm not real familiar. I haven't used the vibratory stuff in a while, but for such a small batch of brass, I didn't want to break out all the stuff to do 50 pieces of brass. So I did it in the vibratory tumbler, which it turned out pretty good. We'll go ahead and I'll swap the cameras over and I'll show you what I'm dealing with. But what we did was, so we vibratory tumbled it, and then I washed it to get any of the dust from the vibratory tumbler out of the brass and off the outside of it with cold water, so that it doesn't get the stuff from the hot water heater out of it, the heavy metals and stuff like that build up in hot water. So that then I threw it in a dehumidifier, basically a Lyman Cyclone case dryer, and case dried it. And basically, so it's in that state right now. It's still in the case dryer. I'm going to turn a camera on, and then we're going to pull it out over here, and we're going to set it up for neck sizing with a Lee collet die. So let me go ahead and switch the cameras here. Okay.
Yeah, I have Frankfurt Arsenal wet tumbler. I have the old Frankfurt Arsenal kit. It's about $100 now. I got it for like $50 a few years ago. And I've got the Tumbler's tumbler, which I don't hardly use.
Okay, can you guys see that?
Yeah. Case dryer?
Yeah. What I like about these things, ladies and gentlemen, is they're square trays. And they've got square little deals in them, and they've got a high side right here, so no brass will fall down inside it, and no brass will fall through it up to like a 32 caliber. So that's what I like about it. And if you're using the stainless steel pins, it keeps the pins from falling into the fan motor down below. It's got like a little shield for it and keeps them from, but that's what we ended up with. Those are 47 pieces of once fired Starline brass out of a K98 8mm by 57mm Mauser. And basically the action was rebarreled with 308 by a local gunsmith, and basically he lives on through his barrels, and because he passed away some years ago. And I reload for about 5 guys that own his rifles, and they shoot sub MOA groups out of rifles that are 100 years old.
Wow. Cranky with us. Lead Bullet Junkie, Hasbro, DM Foss, Tactical Flood. Uncle Jim's with us.
Uncle
Good to see you
Jim.
guys.
Great, brother. Nice to see you in the side, brother.
Put your brass on the furnace in a tray. It's wintertime. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm in Florida. I could easily, but I wouldn't want to leave my brass outside just because of the area I live in. Being full of leftist, they probably see the brass and report me or something. I don't know. I don't want to deal with that kind of bull crap.
When I dump my wet tumbling, I take a towel, 3 towels, usually 3, sometimes 4, but and I take both ends and I put the brass in there and I go back and forth like a seesaw.
Oh yeah. Like back like this.
Yeah, left and right, up and down,
left and right,
like
up and down, and
then I switch towels and I'll do that, and then I'll just lay it in the floor in the living room or on the kitchen table in a dry towel and leave it overnight. Especially in the winter, and it'll dry perfect.
Now, let me just ask you this, AR.
Then I'll let it air for a few weeks in a container.
How do you get the woman to stand still while you do that?
She don't. She enjoys it too much.
I had to hit it with that. Every once in a while, you got to have some comedy come in. Everybody giggles.
Oh man!
I was like, "What in the heck is happening?"
Yeah, I did the sun. I actually did the sun when I first got that wet tumbler, and it put a bunch of spots on it. But I do sun too. It works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in the driveway sometimes. But I love the Frankfurt Arsenal's wet tumbler. I'm not that crazy about the Tumbler. It don't hold that much, and it's just a pain to rinse out.
Yeah. They make some little cheaters for the Frankfurt Arsenal too. That makes it a little easier. They make some end caps that are screen, like stainless steel screen, that you can put in instead of the plastic caps when you're actually tumbling the brass, and then you could dump it and none of your stainless steel media will come out and go into the and clog your sink up and cause a plumber to have to come out and cost you $150. But there's only one reason why I would know all that.
Allegedly, I can 3D print one of those screens. I almost bought a Franklin tumbler, and I was going to 3D print myself one of those little end caps.
You guys are I forgot you and Quest. Oh, and by the way, Quest is unavailable to us this evening because usually he's on our show, and he was supposed to be here tonight, but apparently the Pacific Northwest had a major water main break, and he is out in freezing cold weather right now, restoring water and services to the community. So
what state is he in?
I know he's right there near Canada. Is it Oregon?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in Washington.
Washington State.
Okay.
That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, old Mr. Quest. So let's keep him in our minds. You know, he's out there in that cold working with heavy machinery and stuff. That shit ain't that stuff's dangerous, you know. So everybody kind of keep him in mind. He's out there trying to do a job get his community up and going again.
Elster says, nice to see you all raising hell and sharpening knives. LOL. Appreciate you dropping by, Elster.
Good to see Elster.
What's going on, Elster?
Always good to have him.
Oh, yeah. We actually should send him a link if he's not doing nothing. Elster, if you want to come on, man, I can send you a link if you want to come on. We're just all hanging out doing some 308, brother. So there's the 308 in the pretty aluminum Lyman. Let's see. Little aluminum deal there that holds it. We're going to go over here to the
yeah, Elster reloads for the chamber, not a case gauge. That's a good way to do it too.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And if I could show you guys, but I can't because, you know, YouTube will hit me in the head with a ball peen hammer a couple of times. Basically, what I've done is I have the action, you know, of I could probably show you guys the rifle if I take the camera and just go like this and just show it to you guys so you know what I'm messing around with.
I think you can.
Yeah, as
Unless
long
they
as you
change
don't
their
touch
terms
it.
again.
No, they haven't. I stay up on top of all their terms and all their conditions, and this is not a violation. If I can get this crazy case open is a totally different story. All right, there we go. Get it displayed out here so that you guys can get a good peek-see at it.
Well, I got me a drill press here a few months ago. My son-in-law brought one by here, one of those radial arm presses, floor model. It has a piece of wood on it. Big, man. Gave $40 for it. They let me have it for $40. I haven't been getting
a good deal.
Yeah, I have been getting the rust off of it, off the chrome pole, you know, up and down. Somebody didn't take care of it. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, what this fella did,
Nice.
And what's cool about this guy was I thought this guy just basically put a barrel onto an action, bought a stock, and put the gun together. But this guy actually built the stock. He built all 5 guns that I reload for. Their stocks from what they call stock kits, which are just big blocks of wood that you do all the steps to get it down to this. And then the color and the varnish. And the reason why I know that when I come across one of his rifles is I can tell by the barrels, because he turned all these barrels and blued them himself, and he built all these stocks, and all these stocks are this exact same color. So he did these as this was a thing that he would do. He got these rifles for $50 a pop back in the early 70s.
Wow.
And he would turn them into these things and sell these for $275 to the hunters. And they've got a custom match barrel that's been the chamber's been hand turned in it, and basically a custom wood stock. And just recently we had to put it on an end mill and redo the scope mounts to put a 1913 Picatinny rail on it. And I had to bring it over to a buddy of mine that's got an end mill to do it. But the bottom line is all these rifles still shoot sub MOA at 300 yards. So, and that's all they need to shoot, you know, for a deer rifle is 300 yards. Mm-hmm. And they're great rifles, and this is what we're loading for. And basically what I do is if I was able to, I would show you when I put one of these empty pieces of brass back into this rifle, when I go to click the turn the handle down of the bolt and lock it into battery, I feel a little bit of resistance, just a tiny bit. And what that's telling me is that cartridge case is pushing all the way up against the shoulder wall in the chamber and is basically causing it to ratchet closed firmly. Mm-hmm. But not so firm that I don't have anywhere to go with growth. It's still got probably 1.5 to go of room. So I'm not in a critical pressure level area or anything like that. Basically, I'm just neck sizing it, and then I'm gonna prime it, powder the bullet, and drop the powder, and then drop the bullet into it. And you'd be so surprised on how accurate an old $275 gun will shoot. It's lights out every time. So that's why.
Do you know what scope's on it, Echo?
Yeah, that is a a PST, Vortex PST Viper, I believe.
Right.
They're probably around a $700-800 optic when they're brand new, give or take, $100 or so. I believe that's a PST1, so that's probably a $700 scope.
I'd like to have the new PST.
Yeah, the Model 2. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that is a nice piece of equipment.
Low Balling Outdoors is with us. Good to see you, Low Balling.
Hey, Low Balling, what's going on, brother? I didn't notice. Did Elfster ever answer us back whether he wanted to come on or not?
No.
I don't know if he's busy. Sometimes he's busy working. Lee Collett die.
How many knives you sharpening, Eagle?
A viewer sent me a bunch of knives, and the angles on them are all jacked up. So I'm on a 400 grit here. I'm going to go up to 3,000, but I got a lot of work to do on 400 to get these in shape.
Hasbro says, is that a 700 action Remington on that gun rifle?
No, that is a 8mm Mauser action. 1898.
Yeah, Low Balling got it. Mauser action. Yep. Chris is off work today, guys.
Yes, I am. I'm loving it.
Everybody got to call in sick today because of the ice.
I used to love it. When it snowed in Georgia, everything was shut down here in the state.
My wife's taking a shower, gentlemen. Should I bring the camera in there? How many views would I get?
I'm trying to get her on the show, but not that to extent.
Yeah, I know. Except I'd get a lot of views. The only problem is I'd be viewing them from a shopping cart out underneath the underpass, underneath the bridge. Everybody be waving to Echo. Wave to Echo. He done got himself kicked out. Now, what I'm doing right here, guys, is I'm taking a paper towel and I'm wiping the interior guts of this die free of mineral oil, which is what Lee uses to pack their dies with when they send them to you.
So is this a brand new die?
No, it's just what I used to put back into, I'll stick a little bit of mineral oil on the mandrel to it so that that I know the little parts that rust on these dies. And plus it's sitting inside of a dehumidifying cabinet that brings it down to 29% relative humidity. Then this is all to fight rust, because here in Florida, it's horrible. It's literally an all-out war to keep your dies from rusting.
How many views? Perhaps 10 before you hear her gun click.
I've never seen Hasbro out in the chat before. Man, he's got a good channel. I'm over here looking at his stuff now.
Oh yeah, Hasbro's a great guy.
Yeah, I just subscribed to his channel. So.
Oh yeah, and he makes some really great parts for the annealies to keep your wheels from melting.
Yeah.
He if you guys need any kits to keep your annealies machines, if you have one of the older model annealies that does not have the removable nozzle like the 3rd gen does, you run into severe heat issues when using for 300 Blackout, and anything that's 223 Remington, those short cases becomes a problem. And he makes a little kit that lets you thermally isolate your wheels with sheet metal custom cut with some spacers that keep the actual thermal shield away from the wheel, so you don't get it doesn't pass through the steel into the wheel and heat it up and cause it to melt.
What you doing now? All we see is a press.
Yeah, I'm putting back together a die.
Okay.
I'm just trying to remember how to put it back together now that I've taken it apart. It's one of those. Da da da.
Willie's still in the hospital, apparently. Boy, it's a long time to be in there.
That
What's
is
up,
quite
Andy?
a while.
Good to see Andy.
It doesn't seem like that's too good.
He's the Zinc Master.
The Zinc Master, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
I guess I need to open up another device if I want to see the
Chat.
Yeah.
He's like, so what are you doing down in the basement? I know you're sharpening knives.
Yeah, this thing is too jacked up. I got out my Tech Studios profile. This is the old Russian knife sharpener. It will put a perfect degree on it. This is just too far gone.
Just somebody that didn't know what they were doing sharpening it. That's a shame.
This bevel over here is half the distance of this one. So
We got Mr. Hot Pot's Hot Shot on. Appreciate you dropping by.
Oh yeah. All right, now let me see if I remember how this die goes together. Think smart here. Big brain, small work surface.
I was gonna say don't pull a
big brain. I got the big brain.
No, I was thinking something else. Don't pull a on us.
I got a big brain.
You know, where you forget what die you're working with.
Yeah.
Enough of that.
Oh God, we're good old AR. Always brings some funniness and.
Good to see you, Hot Pot's Hot Shot.
Say that 3 times really fast.
Yeah. Or not.
Or
Hot
not.
Pot Shot, Mr. Hot Pot Shot, Mr. Hot Pot Shot. It is hard, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You're welcome, James.
Yeah, I hope Willie eventually gets out. He's been in the hospital quite a while now.
Yeah. You're welcome, Andy. Yeah, man, it's just not good.
Yep.
All right, All right, I'll call it when I'm just stupid, and you know what? This happens to people. This happens to people all the time. Just dumb, and I just did it. I did it. I'll be the first one to admit it. I put this thing together twice, and now, if I can, I would like it to go together this way. If it would please just want to go together for me.
Chris is the Link Master tonight.
The Link Master.
Yeah, G23 beat me to it too.
Did he?
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
me. We must have been thinking the same thing. I saw him pop up there.
All right, now. Oh.
Yeah, he threw a bunch.
As I stumble around.
I would have to go to YouTube to figure out how to put it back together.
Nah, I just had to look at the pieces for a minute and think mechanically for a second. Okay, now I do need something that that every reloader would need for this particular. Please tell me that. Yep, that's a number 2, which is also, I believe, for some reason I want to say 30-06, and if Quest was here, he would be like, that's correct, or that's not right. Because old Quest, he knows what's going on when it comes to 30-06, and I think 308 and 30-06 share the same Okay, need to get a pen.
Well, Andy's been around on YouTube since 06.
Who has?
Andy.
Oh, wow.
Good
That's a while. That's a while. Good bit.
I was around, I was on there, but I was watching mostly doing guitar lessons online those days.
What were you were watching young girls?
I had electric guitars.
What? With electric
Amps
guitars?
and everything.
I'm only kidding.
Good night, lowballing.
Oh, low balling's taking off?
Yeah.
Have a good one. Appreciate you dropping by.
Appreciate it, brother. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're setting up this this Lee collet die. And what I'm doing is I go all the way down until it touches, and then I'm going to go a half turn. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this piece of brass up in here and just feel how this goes.
Yeah, you got a lot of subs, Andy. Him big channel.
He's a big boy.
Big as high boy.
Okay, now I think this did the job, but to verify what I need is a 7.62 bullet that that I can just grab real quick and easy. And you know how that goes as we go into, hold on, you know what? We're just going to open a box of the bullets that I'm going to use for this project, which we're going to be using for this, ladies and gents. We're going to be using a 30 caliber, 165 grain boat tail soft point. So, and it's an interlock. So it's a bonded bullet. And basically I've been using these bullets, and I went from a plastic tipped bullet back to an old school lead soft tip because I had some hunters show me that what?
I don't know what this person's saying.
Oh, no, I had some hunters show me that my bullets weren't going all the way through the animal and giving a clean, humane kill. And I'm a very big supporter of animals. You know, if you're going to hunt, you're going to do it right. You know, you're not going to be
kill them good.
Kill them good. Exactly. Kill them clean, kill them quick. And so basically, I went back to these interlock bullets, and surprisingly enough, these damn things were busting through both shoulders. I was getting guys that were hitting on the right side at 150 yards in the right, and instead of hitting right in the shoulder, they hit right behind it. They hit it right in the shoulder, and it would just bust right through, and it would stay, you know, 70% of the bullet would stay together. And that's just something that I was like, all right, that's what I want.
I have some 150 grain interlocks.
Yeah, I do too.
How heavy did you say those were, Echo?
165.
Okay.
Gives us a little bit bigger meat plat, so that if you get a bigger piece of game, or if you're like a mule deer or something like that, you could use it for that as well. So there we go. We neck sized, and then we drop the bullet into the case, and that's what you're looking at. See where the boat tail goes down in there, and it's hitting that.
Yep.
And then on a regular piece, you just go right down in there and flush. Oh, what the part that you Varget?
Varget.
Yep. Always use Varget.
One of those guys like Elster's always got Varget. I only got a pound of it.
I got an answer.
Yeah, that's not even the pound. That's not a lot.
Nope.
Well, Varget is like mythical to me because I've only been reloading for like 8 or 10 months, and I've never seen a bottle of it.
Well, I gotta have some.
It's very mysterious. The men that shoot it are very mysterious as well. I'll just tell you that right now.
Well, it might as
And
well be an urban legend as far as I'm concerned, because I've never seen it.
It's very much an urban legend, and let me show you. When you, I'll call it what Elfster calls it. You got
good
you
powder
got
to work with. And
you got to be able to flex every once in a while. It's a good powder. I highly recommend if anybody gets a chance to get a hold of it. To grab as much
$3.29
as they
at
can.
Brownells right now, out of stock. $3.29 for a 8-pound jug. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I got about 3 or 4 pounds. When I first started reloading, you could get Varget anywhere.
1, 2,
Well, you can't get it now.
4, 5,
No.
6, 7. I'm down to my last 8 pounds of Varget.
Ooh.
And that's kind of depressing. I'm going to remind me, hey, AR, at the end of this, remind me to call Hodgdon. I got to put in my order. I called direct. I just put it direct right in. I'm full of shit. As you well know, I'm just kidding. I don't have any kind of connection. Please don't fill up my inbox with like, please get me this powder. I can't do that. I'm just an idiot like everybody else. I try to find it when I can. And when I can't, I complain like everybody else.
So allegedly, it is showing up every now and then on Hodgdon's direct website.
Yes.
And I ordered some tightwad and it came in. But I've heard that people are seeing it, but it must be really low quantities because it's never there for any duration.
Yeah. You get it basically comes in and disappears.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer a couple questions real quick. Sam, you wanted to know how I'm liking the Shadow Systems DR920. That actually was not my gun. That was donated to the channel by one of my buddies. I'm actually going to be getting that gun back this week to put a Timney trigger in it. And I think he just got it back from Cerakote. So I'll actually be bringing it back on the channel and doing the trigger install video. And then I'll take it out to the range again. So I have a couple more videos coming out with it, but it's not my gun. But I do like it. Well,
it's a pretty gun.
Yeah.
It's pretty. The thing sure is.
And then, no, I have not. Are you talking about the email with the phone numbers? I have not sent it out. Thanks for reminding me. I'm bad about that. Hasbro said he's desperate for H4350.
Yeah, that's another legend.
There's another one, the mystical 4350.
I think I got about 10 pounds of that. I bought 8-pounders back about 3 or 4 years ago. I bought a couple of them and should last me a long time. But
oh yeah, you're set.
Why I didn't buy Varget, I can't explain it.
Yeah, Varget is one of those type of powders that just work with most bottleneck rifle cartridges, and it may not give you the best results with all cartridges, but it gives you pretty damn good ones. And for the ones that it gives really good results with is 30-06 and 308 Winchester and 223 Remington. Now me and Cranky will disagree on this because Cranky can't seem to get Varget to shoot in 223. And is he still out in the crowd?
Elster shoots it all the time. Depends on what bullets you're doing.
Yeah, well, you know what? I've even had luck with it with 55 grain bullets. And a lot of guys will say, oh, it doesn't shoot the light stuff very well. And I'm like, I've had it no problem. I mean, now granted, fellas, I'm picking up brass that has been walked on sometimes for years. Okay. I'm all I'm doing to it is I'm tumbling it, I'm annealing it, and I'm resizing it with a Lee die. You know, nothing fancy, using the regular decapping pin expanding ball setup, nothing fancy, and I'm still getting sub MOA at 100 yards. I mean, yeah.
Hasbro, I've looked at that Shooter's World. That's good powder, but it's a it's double base. If I'm not wrong, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like got a red label, but it's not totally opposite of what Varget is. A lot of people want to compare it, but it's not a single base powder like Varget, which means it's more temperature insensitive.
Hey,
Nice
G, I just sent that email out, so let me know when you got it, and then I'll know everybody got it.
I'd like to have some Shooter's World powder though.
So
I've looked at it a couple times.
I've used Varget with 223, but I only use that, I think, with the 73 grain Hornady ELDM, I think it is that I use it with, but I've only used it for heavy bullets too.
30-31. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Lead bullet junkie.
30-31 I've got. Yeah, that works good in 308 too if you're shooting 168 grain.
Hasbro says it shoots grain for grain with Varget, but I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah, as long as it's a good powder, that's all that matters, Hasbro. Absolutely.
What's he shooting? What's he doing?
30 as good as it? Yeah, I'd buy a jug of it.
What,
30-31? Precision, Shooter's World Precision powder.
Oh, I've heard some good things about that powder. That's supposed to be a really good powder.
I think what I use for 308, yeah, I use Reloader 17 is what I use for my 308 rounds.
Yeah, you like to use those. What are those rounds called? I always make fun of people that use the Reloader group. Who did they just purchase? Or am I mistaking a powder company?
Is it Alliance Powders or Reliant Powders or something? Yeah,
there was something about Reliant Powder that it just got bought up by. Now,
Western? Was it Western that bought
Western? That's what it is. Western got bought up by one of the big boys. I don't remember which one did. Was it Hodgdon?
That sounds right.
No, I don't think Hodgdon bought it.
Hodgdon bought up all the IMR target or all the IMR powder, didn't they?
Right.
Yes. Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, they did.
They also bought the Western too, I think.
They bought everything, Winchester, DuPont, over the years.
And Hodgdon's like in Australia or something, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so over in Europe. I wish we had a train load of it or a truckload of it here.
Actually, the funny thing that you should say that is there is truckloads of Varget powder that are okay. I know someone in the railroad, and anybody out there that knows who I'm talking about, they know who I'm talking about. He's a gun guy too, on the gun channels and everything. And he's seen full, I'm not sure how long they are because I'm not a train guy, but the entire box cars of train, thing full of powder, just full from top to bottom. And so the powder is making it into the country. It's just going as fast as it comes in. So eventually they will get caught up. And somebody told me that I think Hodgdon was building another, was expanding, I believe, with their powder production.
You realize if they could make Varget what they would sell now, or other powders, good Lord. If they could produce it, it would sell out quick. And then make more and more money, millions.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Hodgdon actually became the distributor of Alliant Powder in 2019.
That's what I like. Chris is dialing it in on the searching. He's like, yeah, they he's like, they were bought.
I'm not doing it. So I'm
listen to AR. Listen to AR. I'm just enjoying myself tonight.
Well, I gotta be good. I gotta be good for something. Have a good night, Eagle Eye.
Oh, Eagle Eyes was with us?
Yeah, and I forgot to put a link out to his channel. I'm gonna throw one out there.
Eagle Eye, brother. I didn't even know you were hanging out with us tonight. I would have just called you out, brother. Didn't know. I'm over here at the press here.
I called him out, said hello.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'm just stupid
Spoke
then.
to him.
No big deal. I did?
No, I did. Said hello.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't remember talking to him. Are you sure? I'm like, you
I
gotta
think I
like
did.
rewind. I'm like the guy with the guy that had the stroke. That's what, or the 2 minor strokes. That's what I'm known as. Little strokey guy. He's just a little bit strokey.
Ram does Varget and 69 Sierra Match Kings. Yeah, I think Elster does 60 grain VMAX for 223. I'd like to get some of those bullets. The line
I
strips,
got
red
some.
tip.
Let me see what the heck I got that I was
And I see them
shooting with them.
sometime.
I shoot these.
Last
And
year,
I think I was supposed to send a box of these to Eagle Run 23. These
I
are
was gonna send you
73.
some stuff. What were you gonna send me?
I was going to send you some 73 grain ELD match
Oh,
224s, 223 stuff.
I'm gonna send you 6.5 Creedmoor stuff here shortly.
Yeah. So, all I need is just a couple bullets. I don't need nothing big. I just want to be able to do a series on reloading 6.5, and I don't have anything 6.5. I've got dies because
Okay.
I reload it for a guy, but I didn't have any equipment because everything that I reloaded for him that he bought went into his equipment. And I just, like an idiot, I was like, oh, I'll just go ahead and give him the extra bullet that came in the
Oh, right.
in the box, and I'll be like, here, so he gets all his stuff back. And the empty powder that had like a couple flakes in the bottom of 4350, I just give him everything back and the 200 rounds I loaded. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there you go. And then but then now I wish I would have kept it because I probably could have loaded one bullet. You know what I'm saying? With the powder that was in the bottom of that thing, I probably could have loaded one bullet and, put the one bullet I had left over for putting it on top of it. And my dumb ass, I didn't think that. I was like, oh yeah.
got Timothy Burkett with us. Good to see you, Timothy.
Tactical FUD. He wants to know, what powders do I use for 300 Blackout? My 2 favorite powders for 300 are IMR 4227 and I use Little Gun.
Oh, yeah.
And Jason Stewart said he uses CFE Black and H110. I have never tried H110 and 300 Blackout, but I have tried CFE Black. It's a good powder too.
Yeah, the CFE Black is very good. I've used that. Also, a really good one for 300 Blackout guys is 1680. Did you say that one already?
Mm-mm.
Okay, 1680. If you guys get a chance to try that one, please do. You will be what's really good about it is it's very gassy. So it cycles an AR-15. And you don't have problems using little amounts of it and getting your gun to cycle. The what?
The fart, huh?
It's very gassy. It's very gassy. Well, sometimes it helps, if you're using a direct gas impingement system to have a gassy powder, a little gas. And it likes to. It's just like Dad during the Love Boat. He's gonna rip one.
My round is the one I want is a 6.5 Grendel.
That's a good bullet. That is a good. Out of a, I would do a 18 or 20 inch barreled AR-15 for that.
I think I can hog hunt with it and deer hunt.
Oh yeah,
I know I can deer hunt. Hogs.
Yeah,
should take hogs down.
Oh no, that'd take a hog down. You could shoot those 140 grain or 135 grain bullets. That'll knock the heck out of a hog.
You can shoot hogs with whatever you want.
Yeah, you can. I've seen people shoot them with 40 caliber handguns.
They can suffer for all I care.
I wouldn't shoot them up close with a 223. Not up close. If they get up close to you, they'll get you.
I have property that's tearing up, so I'm not very happy with hogs right now.
What do you have that's getting torn up?
I have 100 acres. Just about an hour and a half from my house, and they're getting worse and worse. It's
Oh yeah.
they're very destructive.
Oh
And
yeah, you would not until you see. Everybody likes to say, "Oh, the poor little hogs."
no,
You wait until you see, dude. I have seen hogs go into a place where I was one weekend, and the very next weekend came back out, and the guy's like, "I need you guys to come out here and do some hunting." And when I came out there, I was like, "Yeah." When we came in, I see where that field you cleared out down there, and the guy's like, "What are you talking about?"
yeah, no, they did that.
And dude, they cleared a field out like somebody in a D10 dozer. I mean, yeah, like a foot deep all the way across 5 acres of land, just a foot deep, just dug out.
They tore out part of a road, and it's like, I mean, I have a 4-wheel drive SUV, and like you dang near cannot drive down this road anymore. They just completely obliterated it.
Yeah, I got a little baby wild hog in my neighborhood. First time I've ever seen one.
If you got a baby, there's probably 20 more. There's
know.
probably 20 more where that one came from.
I'm surprised I haven't seen one all these years because I got a ton of woods and farm land behind my house here.
You're in Georgia, is that right?
Yeah. It's not my land, but it's a lot of farmland behind me.
Yeah, they're coming up from Florida. They keep coming up the coastline because where it's not developed. Most coastline isn't developed just because it's usually a natural reserve because they try to keep the coastline in Florida for the sea turtles. And so that's why a lot of it's not able to be purchased by private ownership. And basically the hogs just go right up the coast and destroy it as they go up. And any land they get on, it's just completely demolished. The problem with hogs is they rut. They get down in the soil and they rut, and they'll dig up little spots that if you're a cowboy that raises cattle, your cattle will stick their feet in those little holes where they rut with their big tusks and basically break their legs. And when they break their legs, all you can do is shoot them. So, because the cow can't, you can't cast a cow, you can't do that to a cow. So you can only put them down. So it costs ranchers thousands of dollars per animal that those things, they have to kill them because they break their feet and their legs.
I've never been in a helicopter, but I would love to get in a helicopter first time and then shoot hogs with a AR-10 or AR-15. That'd be fun as crap.
Dude, you ought to do it with an M16. That now you talking fun. Now you're talking fun. As long as you don't have to pay for the ammunition.
Yeah.
Or the helicopter ride.
Yeah, the helicopter rides can get expensive. There was a guy that was doing it around here, and you could go for $250, and it was a 25-minute flight for $250. So whatever the hell, what is that? $10 a minute.
Excuse me.
And basically, they don't even guarantee you a hog. They just they'll take you out, then they'll bring you up on a set of hogs, and you've got a magazine to shoot. And basically, if you get one, you get one. If you don't, you don't. So I've been trying to talk Eagle into buying a helicopter. Because I'm such a skilled pilot, I could fly that thing, the blind man chopper. They're like, what? There's like, you got a blind guy and he flies a helicopter? And everybody's like, damn, that doesn't sound safe. And he's like, oh, hell yeah, it's safer. Yeah, we do it all the time. The guys are all like, oh, that doesn't sound safe at all to do that.
That's the discounted helicopter package.
Yeah, that's the discount. You get the $3 off. I'm like, $3 off. That's the $3 off coupon. We go with the blind pilot. Yeah, so this is neck sizing these up pretty dang good. I'm getting these all knocked out and using this little Lee Collet die. And call it what you like, but these things work, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Jason Stewart wants to know what you're doing, Eagle.
Sharpening a crummy knife. This is a Damascus blade. It doesn't have a brand on it. It looks like it may be homemade or I don't know. It's it looks like it's taking an edge. It might be a little soft metal. But my channel used to be all knife sharpening. Right after I got demonetized on the gun stuff, and so I switched to knife sharpening. And so I bought this. This is a Tech Studios Russian knife sharpener. This is like a $300 handmade, hand machined, shipped in from Russia knife sharpener.
Wow.
And they still sell them around here. But if you want a 18.5-degree bevel on your $400 chef knife, I can do that.
Listen to him. You're just like, I didn't even know this about you, bro. Hey, so you know about knives a little bit, obviously. You've been around them a little bit.
I like the machine because it's kind of mindless. Like I'm sitting here watching you and thinking about the different processes you're doing, but I can still keep this going. The angle is set, so I don't deviate. I started out doing them by hand here, but when the bevels are so off the charts wild, this is a great way to reset them. And I can only go to 2,000 grit with these stones. I've got wet stones that go to like 10 or 12,000 for the freehand stuff, but that'll be fine for this. This is just going to go in a bag somewhere. The guy sent me like 12 knives.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, this was handmade.
I like that tooling.
Yeah, now check it out. I'm going to show you the best part. Now, I'm an idiot, okay? My father gave this to me in perfect condition. I put it in my gun safe thinking, oh, that'll be a good place to keep it, and it cracked the handle on it. So the guy that made this knife, I looked him up on the internet and found his home address in Apopka, Florida, and he was still alive, and he remembers my dad. He remembers buying this knife making this knife for my dad. And it also had a little skinning knife with it that my dad lost over the years. This was made in 1992. And it's called a Krapps, Krapps, I believe. I can barely see it. Maybe you guys can. But I sent it back to him because I told him that my dad had passed, and he knew my dad. He had a matching truck that was a 92 flare side F-150. He had the purple one. My dad had the light blue one, and 4-wheel drives. And he always said, remembered my dad because he was a fireman and he had the matching truck. And so he repaired the handle, and he sharpened the knife the first time it had ever been given an edge, and he sent it back to me for free. Nice. And I still talk to the guy. I don't know if he's still alive because I haven't talked to him in about 4 months, and he usually calls me every couple of months, so he may have passed.
He did a mirror finish on that blade.
Oh, yeah, that's how it was from the factory. That's how it came from him. When in 92 it was mirrored, but the blade itself was just not sharp. Now it's so freaking sharp it'll slice you wide open.
Yeah.
But he sharpened it for me and he fixed the hand. Ooh, don't want to do that, David.
Don't drop it.
Yeah, don't drop it and don't bank that thing. I'm putting it back in its scabbard or its sheath, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a knife guy.
Yeah, it's a nice knife sharpener, Eagle.
Yeah, that's fancy dancy. Now this is another question I have. Why is it all of this handcrafted stuff that you hear about is all coming from Russia? This is bothering me. There's reloading dies for shotguns. There's all this stuff coming from Mother Russia. And we used to come right here out of our, what we called, like our backcountry workshops and what do they call it? Cottage industry?
Yeah.
Cottage industry. Yes. What in the hell is going on with the United States?
Man, we don't make much anymore, do we?
No.
I mean,
No, we consume a whole hell of a lot. Look at us. We're all fat. And well, most of us are. I'm a little chunky, but I try to keep my weight down. But I swear to God, it's like we're just consumers now. We're like big blobs, like those. My aunt used to call them push me, pull me's, because if you got to move them, you got to either push them or pull them.
well, I'll say there has been a bit of a resurgence in manufacturing of small things. I've noticed a handful of parts and accessories in the outdoor space that are more and more being made. In fact, you can assemble an AR-15 with parts made only in Texas. That's like a thing that we do here. I've got a buddy who's like, not a single part of made outside of Texas. And so you can do some things like that. Even the roll pins and things like that were made here in Texas.
Very neat.
You can do. There's a couple of things like that are out there. I'm curious if we got to be pretty close to being able to do a Glock almost out of Texas. There's several manufacturers that make slides and barrels and stuff. So I don't know. That's kind of a thing. Texas is we're kind of crazy about that kind of stuff. If you can buy a gun that has a state outline on it, you can sell it for more money.
Yeah.
Anything with a Texas logo on it.
Now, I'll cover something with these lockdowns from Lee. I've talked to the owner of Lee. I've actually talked to Richard Lee about these. These design lock rings from Lee that everybody seems to have a problem with are, I'm not going to say everybody. I've talked to a lot of people that seem to have a problem with these things. They have an O-ring on them. Okay, they don't have a clamp to hold them tight or whatever. But the proper way to do these is to run your ram up in there. And when you're doing it on a neck collet die, you have to use the brass. You get it up in there, then you finger tighten. You see how tight I'm getting these? Look, I'm taking 2 fingers here, index and thumb. That's done. We're done. That's it. That's all the tightness you need. What that does is that lets that die free float with that rubber from the O-ring so that it will move a little bit and self-centers. And you don't have to worry about it being squared off to the top of your ram, because that's what you just did when you do that. So basically what you do is you would put a shell in your shell holder. You would run it up in the die after you have it set where you want it, push it up in there, and then you just 2 fingers tighten up the lock ring, and then you're done. And that lets that die move just 1/1000th of an inch, maybe, if it has to align your case. And also these mechs, if you look, the shell holder moves around as well. It's on a float. It can float left, right, back and forth all over. So between that floating a lot and this floating just a tad bit, your case becomes self-centered, and it reduces a lot of your concentricity run out.
Any of you all shop at AIM online, AIM Surplus?
Yeah,
Surplus.
I just did that. Yeah, I just I did a video. I toured that shop and did a video down there. They're about 3 hours from my house.
They got stainless steel single stage triggers, curve for $69.95. Drop in. Right,
it's a neat little shop. I did I enjoyed. They were really nice too. I went in there and asked them if I could come in and film, and they were cool about it.
Is that like a mil-spec AR trigger, or what? What's it for?
Drop in. No, it's not mil-spec. Drop in like the other brands are.
Like a cassette.
Yes. It's called cassette. Yeah.
Are they making that?
It's their brand on it, so they probably have someone to make it for them. Probably.
I noticed that Palmetto State Armory also had their own brand of drop-in trigger, and I'm wondering who's making those.
God, there's quite a few in the country.
There's so many companies that'll make them for you.
Yeah,
and like the company I like to recommend to people that are interested in a single stage Timney like trigger, I recommend Timney's brother. The guy, okay, the guy used to work at Timney, and he opened up his own trigger company. And the name of the trigger company is, and I always forget it because I'm just slow like that, is Velocity Triggers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And if you guys get a chance, I'm a dealer for them. So if any of my close guys that know me need a trigger, I can get you a trigger from them. But he's the brother of the owner of Timney Triggers. And his triggers are almost like $100 cheaper than a Timney. And they are Timney triggers. So, I mean, basically a bunch of guys from Timney Triggers wanted to do their own design, and they went out on their own to do it. And basically, with support from older brother. So it's all family type. They're all still friends. It's not like he just wanted to design a trigger that was a little bit cost affordable for the average guy, instead of having to drop, half a week's salary or a half a week's pay on a trigger. You can get away with something a little bit less and still get a quality product.
Quest is on his way home.
How much did you say those aims were?
$69.95, regular 100.
Holy cow! Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I built my Polymer 80, I used their barrel, and I was real happy with they make their own Glock barrels too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, probably worth trying out, AR.
Mm-hmm. I want one of those, but I want a 2-stage too, a knockoff 2-stage of Geisley. You can get them about $100 out there.
I'm going to be completely honest. I've never shot anything out of an AR other than a mil spec trigger. And it's because I do my own trigger jobs on them. And between the polish and the reduced spring, I've never felt I needed something. But I keep telling myself I'll buy one of those Echo just to try it, man. I want to try one because I'm very happy with my polish, and I'm getting a 2.5 pound pull, and but I'm wanting to expand a little bit. I've been in my own little bubble. So
how much polish you do on that mil spec trigger? You don't take off much, do you?
No, not much. You can go too far when you mess up the geometry there. You can create something a little tricky, but for the most part, you want to just get rid of that machining. And if you run your fingernail across the ones when they come out of the package, if you feel grit, just polish it.
Yeah, if you go too far, you also the metal softens.
Yes, you can mess up the surface hardening for sure. And the edge is super important. You don't want to round that edge off. But you can even stone them. Like there's a 3000 grit stone right here. You can even stone those and keep a nice sharp edge. But I've been happy with it. But there's got to be something better out there than my own DIY trigger job.
Oh yeah, there is. There's a lot of good triggers there, single stage, and I love that. I'd like to try that 2-stage. I don't mean it's going to be my favorite, but I just like to. I think DGS Arms, DSG Arms, they got one. Palmetto State has a kind of a knockoff of the Geisley too.
Yeah, that one's like 120 or something. I almost bought it just to try it. It was $120 or 100. They had it on sale, 119, something like that.
I've never had a bad drop-in AR trigger. Like I think I got 4 Rise Armament ones now, which those old Palmetto will do sales on them a couple times a year. You can get those for like $99. They're good triggers. I just put my first 2-stage AR trigger in my 224 Valkyrie. I think that was a Elf. That's a nice trigger.
I've seen those.
Quest for the Perfect Load just said out in the side chat that Trigger Tech is the best trigger on the market.
Yeah, they make a nice trigger.
The one I'm really excited. I still have not shot that gun, but that gun that I won at that competition this year, that one that I had done in the channel theme, It's got a hyper fire in it, so which I've shot hyper fires in 9mm ARs. I've just never shot one in a 223, so I'm excited to get that out and try it.
I'm gonna get one of those from you, Echo. I'll get with you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'll set you up with one of those and let you give her a whirl and see what you think.
Yeah, those velocity triggers are nice.
Yeah.
Geisley, I mean, I got their super dynamic 3-gun in my AR that whenever I do shoot a 3-gun match, and that trigger's just stupid. It's, God, I think so light and fast.
Oh yeah.
But that's all it's good for is a competition.
Oh yeah, it's just so light. You don't want to dare use that in a fighting gun because you'll end up shooting a hole in your wall, or you know, or worse. Now, so Quest is on his way home, so that tells me. I wonder how it went. Hey Quest, let us know how it went. How was the job, dude? Was it decent or was it horrible? Let me ask you this. Are your pants wet? That'll tell me right there whether or not it was horrible or not.
TMI.
No. Because if his pants got wet, that means he was digging in water, and that means the job sucked because I got you. He's in a lot lower temperature than we are.
Yeah, I don't know what the temperature is there now. 15 hours, he said, waist high water. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's always fun. That's fun. Oh. That's fun in this. Yeah, that's when you pray to God the sun stays out a little bit longer, just so you can get the dirt back in over the hole.
Talking about shriveling up.
Yeah, exactly. You guys laugh, man. And these are the people that are getting it done for us in our country, so that when you go to take a shower, you don't have a cold water shower. You have hot water. That's why, and you have water that when you turn on your tap, pieces of sewage don't plop out. I've seen that, okay,
Chris
in third world countries.
Right,
Yeah. I've seen this, okay. I've traveled all over the world, okay, and I have seen third world countries, nice, hotel, nice resort type things where they have problems with their their sewage, and it come out the sink water. Now, how that happens, I have no idea how sewage gets mixed in with fresh, clean water, unless they've got some type of gray water or something going on. I don't know. I don't even want to know. All I knew was this is why they tell you in the brochure, drink bottled, sealed water that you buy from stores, not from guys off the street, because they'll fill up. They'll go to trash cans and they'll take the water bottles out of there and they'll fill it up with just water, and they'll resell it to the dumb tourist, and they'll end up drinking that horrible water.
My grandmother used to wash clothes in the creek and cook food on a wood stove.
There ain't nothing wrong with it either. And it was probably some of the best food you've ever had.
Yeah, the problem with what Quest was doing today is a lot of times they'll have that trash pump down in there running, pumping that water onto the street, and that leak's coming in faster than what that pump can pump that water out. So chances are he was probably working down under the water all day on that.
Oh yeah. Especially if you can't shut it down. So this is what we've got. We've got almost 50 pieces of neck size brass, and you can see here the bullets all stay up on top of the cartridge casings, and we got a little bit of a line in these casings just because I went a little bit too much on the neck collet die, but that's not going to be a problem because basically when you fire it, it will come out when you fire the brass again. And plus I'm going to be annealing this brass, so we don't have to worry about work hardening the neck or shoulder. This will all be annealed after we get done with the next couple steps. So for right now, I think that's all we were going to do. Pretty sure that's all we were going to cover on
So
this.
you're saying you did or did not have to adjust the shoulder?
I didn't do nothing to the shoulder.
Okay.
I didn't have to adjust it at all. It's been once fired out of the same rifle. And basically what happens when you fire a piece of brass in a rifle is it will expand to the inside of the chamber,
Okay.
and kind of leave the brass the exact same size of the chamber for a few milliseconds. And then when the pressure from the bullet and all the gas goes out the end of the barrel, the brass shrinks up a few thousandths.
Okay.
Back to its original form, because brass has memory. In other words, every piece of brass is remembering its original shape and form. So after you fire it out of whatever gun you're shooting it through, it's going to expand to the inside of that chamber, imprint itself on that chamber, and then it's going to shrink a few thousandths so that it can be extracted without ripping the head of the case off. So as soon as it shrinks back down a little bit, and I'm over showing it just to give you guys an idea.
That's the first firing, right, Echo?
Well, it's every firing.
No,
every
I mean your
firing.
brass you're using.
Yes,
is it only once fired?
Yes, this is only once fired brass, one time. So she's a complete copy of the inside of the chamber of that Mauser rifle that I showed you guys earlier. Yeah. And basically, so this is going to fit when you put this thing into battery. It's when you crank that bolt handle down, you're going to have just a tad bit of resistance when you close it, and that's going to be you pushing it up against its shoulders into the chamber, and basically it's keeping this supported at the back, the sides, and into the chamber, and keeping the neck concentricity perfect into the lands and grooves.
Does this guy shoot this at the range or use it to hunt with?
We use this to hunt with, but basically this is what I do. I make precision rifle ammunition. I don't care if you're shooting it at paper at 1,000 yards or you're shooting it at a whitetail at 100 yards. I'm going to make you the best bullet the best round that I can, so that you hit what you're going for. And so far, I've been loading for 5 guys for 3 seasons and 4 seasons for another 2 guys. And every season, the deer they draw their target on, they put their crosshairs on, has come down. And it's all from my ammunition and their ability to shoot a rifle, of course. You know, if you can't hit the broadside of a barn, me reloading your ammo is not going to help you. But it does help these fellas out a little bit. So whatever little extra I can give them, because, you know, you can go and buy a box of ammunition. And if you're lucky right now, well, you know, for this last deer season, 308 was kind of hard to find in deer hunting loads, like the 150 to 168 grain bonded bullets. That those were hard to find. You know, you could find the plinking ammo, full metal jacket, that kind of stuff, but you couldn't find hunting ammunition, and you couldn't find it for 30-30 this year either, because a lot of people were going out to the woods this year. And you couldn't find a box of 30-30 to save your life. I must have loaded at least 200 rounds of ammunition for 30-30 this year, and only in 20 round increments, like 20 rounds for hunting, 20 rounds for hunting, 20 rounds for hunting. And they would just bring over their rifle, and basically I had some powder for them, and just basically made them some bullets, because these are friends of mine, and you couldn't get ammunition and wanted to go hunting this year to put some deer meat in the fridge. But yeah, so we got to a stopping point here. We got all the brass neck sized in this batch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to anneal it next time we come back, we're going to anneal it, and then we'll chamfer, deburr it, and we'll go through all those processes. And I will skip over the primering, and then we'll go to powder and putting the bullets in, and basically we'll hopefully show you pictures of the deer next year that they get with this.
You got no room for error on that headspace.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, but I've never had a
blade of grass or anything.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, because the guys that hunt, these aren't kids. They're not guys that are opening their rifle and checking their weapon all the time. They leave their bolt closed. They leave it on safety. And the only time they take that rifle and unload it is if they're coming down out of that tree stand. And so as long as they can load that gun first thing in the morning when they're in the tree stand, when they get up in the tree into their stand, it doesn't matter. They can unload it when they come out. This ammunition is still going to give you 2 to 3 thousandths, 2 or 3 hairs of your human hair of clearance. So you're not going to have a problem with moisture, humidity, or anything like that. Or even real water or any type of.
Quest got a question. Why not anneal first this time?
I guess it's just.
You could.
I guess you could. Yeah, I guess you could. But what I try to do is, Quest, is I'll tell you why I don't. Say you were trying to bump the shoulder back on this brass. Say you were going to neck size it, or say you were going to use a full length sizing die, and you were going to bump the shoulder back 1/1000 thousandth. Okay. Anytime that you do changing of working on the brass, you work harden it. And what I've noticed is when I go to bump 2,000 or 1/1000 thousandth back on this brass, and I anneal it first, I get different neck tensions when I do it first, because I'm work hardening it, and I can't work harden it exactly the same per case, every case. So I'm taking out a roll of the dice. What I'm doing is I'm doing all the work hardening to the brass I'm going to do, all the setting back of the shoulder I'm going to do. Then I anneal it. That will give me uniform neck tension, and that will give me consistent firing ammunition and keep things from stringing vertically or horizontally on the target. And that's why I do it that way.
Are you checking concentricity or run out on any of these? I
will when I'm done with the finished load. I know that these coming out of the rifle that I just showed you guys earlier, that these necks are going to be at most 2,000th run out. 2,000th off dead center nuts. So if they're 2,000th off, once I put them in the neck sizer, and it's got, remember the way this neck sizer is, it's works. And I don't know if you guys noticed when I was cranking that out, that did not move. The lock ring, all I did was grab the die and back it off, and it didn't move at all. So I could reset this just by cranking it down until it touches, just like that. But I would want the ram up with a cartridge casing in it to square it. But I could just go down till it stops and then just turn it. Bam, right back where I was. So just to let you guys know, these Lee lock rings do work. They're just a little bit different. That's all. They're just a little bit goofy, you know. But what it does is, you see this mandrel in this goes through the flash hole. and basically locks it to this mandrel. This mandrel is set at a certain diameter so that when the neck gets closed down on it, it sets the neck tension. And then when you remove it, it just pulls free. And because of that, this helps straighten that neck to the brass. Because when the brass goes up in here, if you guys noticed, I had it when it had a little bit of a resistance. And that's the brass itself sliding up inside this expandable collet system, and basically holding it supported dead nuts. And this going through the flash hole, so it's 2 points of support while it closes the neck on the case. That's why I like these for what they are. For the money you spend, $20 on one of these dies, they work. And they work well, especially if you're using a off-the-shelf type rifle. And we'll leave that at that. But
what time do you want to wrap up tonight?
Anytime you want to do it, brothers, just go ahead. Just thanks for reminding me. Are we getting close?
It's 25 till.
25. Go ahead and let's start wrapping it up, brother. And take care of it, AR, for me, brother.
Okay. Oh, we got Steve Adams here. Appreciate you dropping by. Hang on, I'll call you guys out. Scroll up here. Had Kingpin with us, Eagle Run over here. Sam of Anarchy 92. Guns and Barbecue. Tactical Fud was with it. Cranky Cletus. Good to see you guys. The Lead Bullet Junkie. Bernie Sanchez. Uncle John Pollard, Eagle Eye was with us. Hasbro was with us. Tactical Fud. Let's see. Timothy Burkett was with us. Appreciate you dropping by, guys, and taking the time. Hasbro, I called. G23 was with us. James Pollard. And Uncle John, of course, I called, I think. Lead Bullet Junkie was with us. Good to see you, Lead Bullet. LBJ. I won't compare you to the president. That might make you mad. I used to go, hey, LBJ, because it was for short. Let's see. Timothy Burkett, Cranky Cletus, Chris over here. Eagle Eye Shooting was with us earlier. Uncle Jim, too. Uncle Jim with us. DM Foss was with us. Who else? Vanessa Kitty was with us. What's up, Vanessa? Is she still with us? That was a while when she said something. Or typed something. Let's see. DM Foss, I said. Low Balling was with us for a little bit there. Appreciate him dropping by. Tactical Fud, I called. Hasbro was with us. Uncle John, I called. Mr. Hot Pot's Hot Shot, which was hard to say 3 times in a row. She was with us. Appreciate her dropping by. Thank you. Who else here? Chris. Quest was here. He dropped in on his work truck after standing in water all day. Hasbro, G23. Let's see. Timothy Burkett. That's about it, guys. Alaska One Andy's with us. Appreciate you dropping by, Alaska. Good to have you all here. And, go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Jason Stewart, man, all you guys all you guys that came in the side chat, I appreciate you showing up for our little shindig here. And we're going to continue this party on. We're going to, next week, we are going to go ahead and anneal and chamfer, deburr the cases and clean the primer pockets out and make sure they're all trimmed the right length and everything. And basically then the final episode after next week, we'll be loading these bad boys up and trying a couple in the chamber to make sure that everything's the way it's supposed to be, which it should be. So we won't have a problem there, and we have a good time, and we'll have some special guests back on. We might have Chris. We don't know what his schedule is like because he works a lot. So if he can make it, we'll like to have him on. But if he cannot, we'll have another guest on. We will bring. We'll see if they homeschool Eagle again. For
Yeah.
But yeah. But everybody, thank you very much for coming by. We had a great time entertaining you. And would anybody like to say anything? Goodbye to the crowd or anything? Go right ahead.
Yeah, take it away, Chris.
Yeah, just thanks everybody over in the side chat. I always enjoy talking back and forth with you guys. And I'll see you guys over on the Georgia Shooting Connection.
Is that coming up? Is that tonight?
Yes, that's next.
Okay. I just want to say thanks as well. I mean, I knew nothing about reloading until here in this last 8 to 10 months, and Echo's been a huge help, and AR, and I've been on here several times just trying to learn all I can. I didn't have a father or a grandfather or a neighbor who reloaded. So allegedly my grandfather reloaded shotgun shells, but I was never a part of that. I never saw it. So anyway, yeah, just want to say thanks to everyone. And I recognize so many names that AR just said when he was calling everybody out there. I had a conversation with Bernie just today. He was over on my channel, and it's super great community. So thankful to get to hang out with you guys.
Awesome. Thank you very much. AR, anything else you want to say, brother?
Oh, that's about it. I enjoyed it, guys. Great seeing y'all in the side chat. Love spending time with you. Appreciate you, Eagle Reloads, being with us. Hadn't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
And Chris, I seen a few hours ago, but still good to see you, Chris.
It's always good to see you guys. I'm glad Eagle was on because I wasn't subscribed to either one of his channels. So this is that's what I love about these chats. I get to find all these new channels for me.
You know, the funny thing is I recognize your voice, Chris, because I listen to that podcast while I'm driving, and so I don't have a video on, and so I don't always know what, like, I see your name on there, but like I didn't know your name was Chris, but I definitely recognize your voice.
Awesome. Absolute. Everyone, you have a nice evening. We'll see you over on the Georgia Shooting Connection with JH586 Jamie. You guys all take care. God bless.
See you guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a good weekend, guys.